Everything I know about day trading, I've learned from David Green, and we've taught in Wall Street Global Trading Academy. If you want to know more and you want to really become a successful day trader, go to Wall Street Global Trading Academy. And that's all I got to say about that.
We're back at the New York Stock Exchange for another incredible interview with none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Peter Tuchman.
Boom! Chartaddicts, how you doing? Einstein on Wall Street from the balcony at the New York Stock Exchange. Welcome.
I want to do a quick rapid fire, if you don't mind. These are going to be some like fun stories from the exchange.
Let's do it.
That's going to be, give me your craziest story from the exchange. What is one of the most memorable experiences, whether positive or negative?
So I would say probably the crash of '87. I was a clerk. That was the largest market move we have ever seen. People should go out and do their own research on why that happened. We've had crises, the crash of '87, the bubble of 2000, the financial crisis of '07, and COVID. Each one of these crises and crashes has had components on their own. But for me as a broker, boots on the ground here on the floor of the stock exchange, I was a clerk. I was still fairly new to the business. And the market was falling like you may have seen in a movie. The movies hadn't even been made yet, right? The original Wall Street movie with Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen hadn't have been made yet, right? That's the story of Ivan Boesky. Go see that one. It's better than The Wolf of Wall Street. But anyway, that was a day where we sold off 30-something%, right? The market was trading at, the Dow is now at 40,000. We were at Dow 1,000. The market sold off 608 points, right? So we've never seen a market like that. We had no technology. I had orders being spit out. I had phones ringing, over 100 phones. I was a retail clerk at that time. I literally stood in front of the earthquake's happening again. Giddy up on that. Anyway,
earthquake in the middle of an interview at the New York Stock Exchange,
and we're still
going to keep going.
Giddy up on that. No 4.7 earthquake's going to stop Roy and Einstein. Anyway, so that day was absolutely wild. Literally, we were open outcry, screaming and yelling. Stocks that were, I was trading digital equipment. Stock traded for $168. It was down $68 that day. Literally, that vision you have of guys running around, sell, 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 stocks gapping down, right? Brokers literally falling to the floor in exhaustion, right? People losing fortune. So that was an amazing day. You know, so that's more of a serious day of crisis. I've had days that were super fun. We, you know, there used to be a lot of pranks that we used to do on the floor. Back in the day, we used to powder people's shoes, right? So back in the old days, it was very hard to get guests on the floor. It's still very hard. Post 9/11, it's virtually impossible. I had to like pay people off to get you guys here. Anyway, so when somebody came down as a guest, right, on the floor, and they were all excited about being on the floor. This is an amazing room. It's super excited. We haven't gotten your shoes yet, but you're lucky. They may get you before you're gone. But anyway, so when people were all consumed by the excitement of the room, someone would come up behind them, right, with a thing of baby powder and powder their shoes. And then brokers used to surround them and start tapping, and they would not notice it. And they would stop tapping on the floor, saying it's snowing in New York, it's snowing in New York. And you were a guest. You didn't know what was going on. Suddenly you look down and your beautiful patent leather shoes were completely destroyed. So they actually powdered George Bush. President Bush came down to the floor. They powdered his shoes. We almost got in real trouble for that one. But so we've had other fun pranks. I ended up having a prank that was written up as the stupidest or the silliest thing ever happened on Wall Street. There was a comedian called Gallagher. He used to play in Vegas, right? He looked like me. He was bald. He had this crazy long hairdo, and he used to do these comedy skits in Vegas where he would smash watermelon, and everybody in the audience used to get hit by this thing. He came to New York to open up a hedge fund for celebrities. I met him outside. I brought him out to the floor. We were sort of chatting with each other. I was sort of enthralled with the guy. And someone came up behind him with a fruit plate, handed him a watermelon. He put it on. I had shaved my head for charity, so I was bald as a bowling ball. He put a piece of watermelon on my head and smashed it down, and the watermelon went all over the place. I ended up getting called upstairs by the governors and censured. They fined me $5,000 for conduct on becoming a broker. By the time I got back down after being censured, everyone on the floor had raised $5,000, handed me the money, and paid off the fine for me. So that's kind of the antics we used to do. Most of the antics were really serious. Most of the things we do down here are serious, and they're all about trading and supporting the markets and financial markets. And a lot of stuff I do is trying to educate and motivate people to get involved in the market. Over the years, you know, this is the most stressful job on earth next to air traffic controller. right? So we often do things that are there to sort of, to break down the stress that we go through on a daily basis, trading millions and millions of dollars. Some of them involve some pranks, and they've been fun over the years. No one's ever gotten hurt.
Look, out of all
Don't
of George,
do this with heavy equipment.
don't try this at home.
Exactly.
Out of all the stories of George Bush and a shoe, I think that might be the best one.
Yeah, it was a great story.